All right, so first up is going to be Melissa Nightingale. And so we wanted to do something special for our speakers. So instead of just having your standard intro bio, we actually reached out to someone close to them to help us write a personal intro for them, and they have not heard it yet. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up is going to be our keynote speaker, Melissa Nightingale. She's the founder and partner at Raw Signal Group and the best-selling author of the wonderful book we're giving away tonight, How Effed Up Is Your Management? And here's what her friend Avery Swartz had to say about her. Even though Melissa left Silicon Valley for Toronto 5 years ago, she still has surf racks on her Prius and a bumper sticker that says beach. American can be a dirty word, but Melissa brings the best qualities from her original home to her adopted home. I didn't know how to be a proud American in Canada until Melissa showed me how. Melissa is fierce, and she cares so much. She has the vision for what this industry can be, and she has the resolve and drive to bring us there. I want to be a part of the future that Melissa is working toward. She's raising her daughters to be strong, good people. I hope they give me a job one day, because those girls are going to run the world. And they will be the best managers because their mother taught them how to be. After all, that's what she does. Melissa builds better bosses. Let's bring up Melissa. Give her a warm welcome. Come on up, girl.
Can you folks hear me okay? Hi. I'm so excited to be here. You all look so amazing. It's so neat to be up here. I want to talk to you all tonight about why I'm so excited to be here. I am a person who sort of came up through technology, and I am just a nerd at heart. And so I talk to a lot of rooms full of a lot of people, and it is not every evening that I get to talk to a room full of other nerds. And so it's lovely to be up here. So I thought while I was up here talking to other nerds, I would talk about what I love about technology, because there's so much about this industry that I love. The first time that I got paid to do any work in technology was about 20 years ago. It was 1998, and I was 18 years old, and someone paid me to help out with their website. I think it was a family friend. I'm not sure whether I did a good job. I'm pretty sure I did an okay job. But I was like hooked immediately. When I started working in tech, I was like, this is the only place I want to be. And I was thinking about it in advance of this evening of why it had such a hold on me and why it had such a strong hold on me to work in technology 20 years ago and why it still does today. Okay, Henri says I need to get closer to the mic. Okay. So I was thinking about like what 18-year-old me liked about technology and what 38-year-old me still enjoys about technology. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you get to build the future. And if any of you are like back-end coders and you go to cocktail parties and people are like, what do you do? And you try to explain it, but you're like, I just awkwardly work in tech and hope that they don't ask any follow-up questions. Try this. Try showing up at your next cocktail party, and when people are like, what is it you do? You can be like, I'm building the future. That's what I do. And then just pause. But the reality is, like, I feel like I have gotten to build the future in tech basically for my entire career. I started as a developer. Later, I became a storyteller in tech and helped tell the stories of the consumer internet. And then I became a boss and built the future in sort of different ways. And then I most recently became a founder and am building the future in yet another way. But core to all of this is the idea that when you are building the future, you're a step ahead. You're building things that people will like at some point, but it's not always things that people like know or understand right now. And so I'll give you an example from my own career. In 2006, I was working for a PR agency in San Francisco, and it was a very cool job for me. I got to work on the Skype account right after the eBay acquisition, and I was so excited about it because it was the first time I was working on technology that had like a beautiful overlay for my UX people in the room. Like, it was the first time I worked on a high-tech product that I could actually see my friends and family getting excited about using. So I did what any person who gets excited about technology does. I called my friends and family. And I called my parents, and I was like, I'm working on this thing, and it's really neat, and you should download it to your computer because it's like a video conference, and it's sort of glitchy, but we'll be able to see each other, and like, it's gonna be awesome. And in 2006, my parents were like, no, we're not supposed to download things from the internet that we haven't heard of. That's how you get viruses. And I was like, oh, like past me, I never teach your parents anything at Thanksgiving. Like, so I was like, all right, 2006 comes and goes, 2007 comes and goes, 2008 comes and goes, and in 2009, a big thing happened for our family. My sister, who's like the oldest in our family, had her first kid, which means that my parents had their first grandkid, and they were so excited about it. And I was in California, and they were on the East Coast of the US, and they were like so overwhelmingly excited. And they called me, and they're like, your niece is here, and she's amazing, and she's beautiful, and she's perfect, and you really need to see her. There's this thing called Skype that you should go download. It's like a video conference, and you could see the baby and your sister. And I'm like, so we talk about mansplaining right now. Like, my parents have been mansplaining technology to me forever. But this is what it is. Like, if you're working in tech and you're working sort of ahead of that curve, often you will end up 3 to 5 years out having your friends and family explain technology to you that you either built or worked on or helped ship in some way, shape, or form. I still think this is so cool, and I think it's really exciting. But there are other parts about tech that aren't as exciting for me. There are parts that I actually just hate about tech. In the early days of my career, I really couldn't see the negatives of tech when it would go sideways. I was so optimistic that I missed the fact that tech will give you outsized opportunities to build the future, but it will also give you the power to sometimes build the wrong future. This one stings. I've done this one a few times in my career. Like in my sort of early moments on the web, I couldn't imagine a world where the internet as a place where people could like come and talk about ideas and exchange information wasn't just going to be the most positive thing that had ever happened to humanity. And I was wrong, right? Like the sort of comments on every blog post are the worst cesspool of the internet. And in my mind, like that just wasn't, it just was never even a thing that I thought about. I thought that the internet was going to be just totally unmitigated good. And I would say the other moment where I sort of built the wrong future, it doesn't have to be product, it doesn't have to be the market. Sometimes you're building for the wrong end state. In the 2000s, I got promoted a lot. Like I got promoted a lot. It felt good in the 2000s. I kept sort of leveling up and leveling up and leveling up. And what I didn't pay attention to that I wish I had was that there were underestimated people alongside me who were not getting leveled up. They were leaving, and they were leaving in droves. And this is a moment where I feel like I built the wrong future. And so I want you all to think about this right now. Whatever you're building in this moment, my parents 5 years from now are going to call me and tell me that they discovered. So if you're building something amazing, I'm so excited for that call. If you're accidentally building a monster, 5 years from now, it's going to be too late to stop it. Tech cycles just work so incredibly quickly. So I wanted to bring you all a tool tonight because I am a fellow person who also gets really excited about the possibilities of what technology can bring. If you are a person who gets so excited that you can't see the downside, I wanted to bring you a tool that we use with my team at Raw Signal Group. These are our touchstone questions. These are the questions that we ask ourselves. We basically call it our impact test. This is the set of questions that we ask ourselves before taking on new work because we all come from that nerdy heart place of feeling like it's an unmitigated good and that there's no downside. So here's how we get clarity. We ask ourselves, should it be done? This is like, I affectionately refer to this as the Jurassic Park question. It's like you can build a dinosaur theme park, but like maybe just take a moment. Okay, so should it be done? Next question is, should it be done by you? There are loads of people who would get paid gobs of money to work for assholes in technology. You don't have to be one of them. Like other people can take that job. You can find a job where you have like an amazing boss who believes in you and is excited about the work that you're doing. And the last two questions, will it have lasting impact and will you feel proud of it? And for this one, I often find it helpful to take off my tech lens and put on my non-techie friends and family lens and say if they were using it 3 to 5 years out, would I be proud? Would I be excited to tell them that that was something that I had worked on? So, we talked about the outsized impact that you can have working in tech. You all get scale tools that nobody else has access to. You spend more of your day-to-day thinking about how to 10x things than most of humanity. But part of the flip side of being able to be a master builder is that you have this amazing power, but you also have Spider-Man rules. This one, great power, great responsibility. If you are building the future, it means that you have to think about what you want the future to be. Not just the positive, optimistic versions where online discussions are like utopian, but also the like weaponized bot army, voided warranty version that's the dumpster fire of all online discussions. If you end up in a Jurassic Park Frankenstein moment in your career, don't worry. One of the greatest things about being a master builder is that it's never too late to start building something new. Thank you.